Well, good morning, everybody. We have some stuff to go over. For whatever reason, I thought that these banners were coming out tonight, but they're not. They're out this morning. So I'm gonna squeeze a quick video in before I head off to work this morning. It's a little bit of a shocker, but anyway, I'm used to it being a day behind. I don't know, man. Like the calendar, me and the FEH calendar have a very love-hate relationship. Thank you to the folks over at Game Press, especially the data miners, because your assets make my life a lot easier, and I obviously don't have a level 40 Ranulf to show you right now. So thank you to Zanuck, specifically, who ripped these stats here. So if you guys have seen the stats, you're probably aware, number one, that Ranulf got maybe a little bit shafted, slightly. The generalness that I'm gonna say is a lot of these units are pretty similar to the units that were featured on the Fates Beast banners, the Wolf and Kitsune. So just kind of think of that moving forward. So Ranulf comes with Covert Catfang, which gives him defense +3, and if he's within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack defense +3 to unit and allies within 2 spaces of the unit during combat. He's also going to get attack +2 if he transforms, and if he initiates combat, he's going to inflict attack defense -4 on foe during combat, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. So that should sound a little bit familiar to you if you were remembering the Fates Beast banner. He's got attack defense plus rally. He's got chill attack 3 and ward beasts, which is not really anything new. But he is pretty decent. We're looking at a BST of 157, which, you know, that's not terrible. He's got HP of 40, attack of 30, speed of 37, defense of 33, and res of 17. So again, he is kind of meant to be a little bit tankier on the defense side, given his weapon skill and things like that. So overall, I'd say he's pretty decent. He could be considered similar to Caden. Caden's rocking a 156 BST with relatively similar stats, 25 defense and res, 36 speed, 32 attack, 38 HP. You're kind of just splitting hairs for the most part. Caden, of course, has higher res, considerably higher res. 8 points is pretty considerable, I would think. But overall, you know, if you have Caden, then you're probably not really hurting that much for Ranulf. I'm going to give him a 4 Jeff Goldblum rating, because Jeff Goldblum is the most powerful card in Duel Monsters, and that's the way it is. We're going to move on to Lethe, who... another fan favorite. This banner, if nothing else, this banner had a lot of fan favorites in it, even if they kind of did them dirty. I'm gonna talk about Har when his GHB comes out, but I'm sad about it. Lethe over here has the Brazen Catfang, which grants speed +3, and just a disclaimer. Lethe is all about the speed. Or Lethe? I always call her Lethe. We'll find out. I could probably just listen to the trailer again, but it's more fun to not do that, I guess. I don't have time. I don't have time for the accurate pronunciation of things. So grants attack speed +3, not attack, speed +3. And if she's not adjacent to any allies, she grants attack speed +6 during combat. So she's got the solo skill built into her weapon, basically. She's also going to get attack +2 if she transforms. And if the unit initiates combat, she's going to inflict attack defense -4 on foe during combat, and the foe can't make a follow-up attack. So a little similar to Ranulf's skill there. And again, nothing necessarily new if you were around during the Fates Beast banner. So to combat her built-in solo skill, she's also got speed defense solo 3. So between her weapon and her A slot, She's got attack speed solo and speed defense solo. So, weapon grants speed +3. She then gets a speed solo from her weapon, and then a speed solo from her A slot. So she's already looking at +14, no. 12? No. Yes. 15. +15 speed. Math is hard. Just from those skills alone. Just from those two skills, she's already at +15 speed. Which, you know, given her speed stat already at, like, baseline is kind of insane. And she's also going to have hone speed, which doesn't really impact her, but it does grant attack speed +6 to other beast allies. You could compare her similar to kind of Caden, I guess. Whereas Ranulf here, he was our green Cav beast unit. Lethe is our red Cav beast unit. And that's probably the most tying factor to the Fates Beast banner. Their spreads are a little bit different. Lethe is looking at 41 HP, attack 33, speed 38, defense 26, and res 19. Keaton, on the other hand, has 45 HP, 41 attack, speed of 24, defense of 38, and res of 19. So they function a little bit differently. Keaton, obviously a lot slower, but a lot more physically bulky. Lethe, way faster, still has decent bulk, a little less attack. Whereas Keaton is just kind of a powerhouse out the gate with 41 attack, which is, you know, like the highest you can get in the game right now. Lethe you can kind of stack, and her speed can get insane. So we talked about a 15 speed buff, right? That's on top of the 38 speed, which she already has without her weapon. So you're obviously looking at huge numbers there. Oh boy, big numbers, very big numbers. So yeah, for what that's worth, Lethe is very, very fast. She will be doubling a lot. So maybe the slight attack loss or lack thereof is not really that big of a deal. But ultimately, you know, it's a similar it's a similar unit because of that. I'm gonna be bold and say 4 Jeff Goldblums out of 5 because Lethe is very unique in that sense. Keaton might be similar, but they're definitely not the same. Now we have Mordecai. My dude Mordecai, who I was probably, on this banner, the one I was most excited about, except maybe Caineghis, just because. But, my dude Morty is rocking the Sabertooth Fang, which grants defense +3. And if a movement asset skill is used by unit or target's unit, it inflicts attack, speed, defense, res -4 on foes within 2 spaces of unit and target through their next actions after movement. If Mordecai transforms, he's getting attack +2, and he's going to deal 10 damage when special triggers. So very cool. He comes with Smite, which, you know, very, very handy for things like Ether Raids. Attack defense Link 3, so obviously built in with his weapon. You know, Link skills are super nice to have. And then he's also got Beast Experience 3, which is one of the new skills on this banner. Mordecai is definitely not getting demoted. I don't know, man. If anybody's getting demoted, it's probably Ranulf, and I just don't see anybody getting demoted on this banner. And I'm telling you that now because Caineghis is insane. We all know he's not getting demoted at all. So we do have another blue infantry beast unit, and that would be Nyla. So she's up there as well. Again, the stat lines are kind of similar, but the functionality is a little bit different for sure. Mordecai has 47 HP, attack of 37, speed of 24, defense of 39. 39, and res of 20. Whereas Nyla functions a little bit differently. HP 40, attack 31, speed 37, defense 32, and res of 23. So obviously, you know, they're a little bit different. The Nyla obviously much faster. Mordecai a little bit stronger. Much more bulky, especially on the physical end. Nyla has a little bit more res, but not really enough to make a huge difference. Mordecai's job is pretty much just to be an absolute tank, and his skills kind of help him deflect enemy attack, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to give him, you guessed it, 4 Jeff Goldblums out of 5. Mordecai's my boy. I'm happy he's in here. I'm still sad about Har, but Mordecai makes it a little bit better. Just a little bit. And now we have our man, Caineghis, who I think... God. Why do they make armor units so overpowered, dude? I mean, I get it. I guess I get it, but still. So, Caineghis here. Caineghis is, he's got an interesting weapon. It's granting him attack +3. If he initiates combat, it's going to grant attack speed, defense, res +4 during combat. And on top of that, if he transforms, he gets attack +2, and unit can counterattack regardless of range. So he's got built-in distant counter, and if the foe initiates, he's getting a buff to +4 in every stat, except HP, obviously. So that's pretty good. Reminds me a little bit of Roy to an extent, after his refinement and stuff. But yeah, so Bonfire, we obviously knew he was going to have pretty bonkers defense. Not as much as Mordecai, by the way. just want to throw that out. Just barely less than Mordecai. So good for him. So Caineghis is rocking the second, the only other new skill on this banner, which is Distant Defense 4, which is just a beefed up tier 4 skill that we've already had. So if the foe initiates combat and uses a bow, dagger, magic, or staff, it grants defense res +8 and neutralizes foe's bonus during combat. So you can assume that with Distant Defense and Lion King Fang, that if he's not taking a direct on hit, i.e. a unit that attacks, you know, right next to you, if he's getting attacked from a distance, that's probably an easier way to say it, he is going to be a monster. Because he's going to have defense res +10. Which is insane. The speed doesn't so much matter because 23 is kind of bleh. But he's got Vengeful Fighter, so it doesn't even matter. And then he's got Distant Guard as well. So allies within 2 spaces with that same distant attack get defense res +4 during combat. So kind of support heavy, but also just kind of a monster who will wreck your life. He has a BST of 174, which is kind of insane. HP of 47, attack 37, speed 23, defense 37, and res 30. He's pretty much built and equipped to do everything that he needs to do. There's no real getting around that. The only other thing that you might be able to compare him to is Duma, and that's a bad comparison, honestly. That's why there's a question mark there. I'm personally not in the habit of comparing beasts to dragon units. Laguz and Manakete, while they might, you know, cohabitate in a sense, where they might be able to allow beast units to transform, to me, the mechanics are too different to really give a direct kind of unit type comparison. But if you wanted to, that's the only other colorless armor dragon or beast unit that we have in the game. So Caineghis is pretty much just on his own. in my humble opinion, Caineghis is pretty much just kind of in a league of his own. There's nothing else really like him. So, as you might imagine, 5 Jeff Goldblums. That's right, 5. The most powerful man in the world, Jeff Goldblum. Representing Caineghis pretty well, honestly. It's, yeah, it's... Get Caineghis. You're gonna want Caineghis. Like, he's a unit that you're going to want. He's gonna be annoying for your opponents to take down. He's an armor unit, which is kind of meh, but he also doesn't necessarily have that weapon triangle disadvantage, which is kind of nice. But ultimately, I feel like most AR teams and things like that, arena teams, they're typically ready to take on armor units. But Caineghis in general, if you like armor units, he'll be fun to play with. Just because his kit and his weapon and his stats are so well aligned that it'd be hard not to have fun putting a build of him together. But again, there are a lot of fan favorites. We have Ranulf, we have Lethe, we have Mordecai. I'm pretty jazzed. I'm excited. There's a Forging Bonds event as well, so I will probably wait until I get my 4 tickets to do the summoning event. But that video will be live at some point this week, I would imagine. So yeah, this should be good times. I'm a big fan of this banner. I'm happy that we have this banner. I was definitely not expecting this banner. If you listen to the FEH podcast, I was thinking something more along the lines of like Genealogy or Sacred Stones. I was not expecting a second Radiant Beast banner after just getting one in January. So pretty crazy. Anyway, friends, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Are you excited for these units? Are you going to pull for these units? Have you already pulled for these units? Let me know any and all things down below. And if you want to subscribe to this channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content, or just Nintendo content in general, I throw that up here every once in a while as well. Feel free to subscribe and do so. Anyway, I'm going to try and get this edited and uploaded because I got to get to work. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.